What's up, YouTube? Welcome to ExceedTheHype.com. It's your boy Lucrecio coming at you with another video. Alright, today we got a little bit of a different format for the video, so I hope you enjoy it. And as always, like if you enjoy, subscribe, and leave a comment to give your opinion on the content. Alright, see you next time. So let's discuss the relationship between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. According to Maverick Carter in a recent interview, a fairly recent interview, Maverick Carter stated that LeBron and himself first met Michael Jordan when LeBron was about 16. Apparently there was some open runs that used to take place. This was when LeBron James was in high school. He was already a pretty well-known high school player because of his success as a freshman, as a sophomore. But at this particular open run, there was a lot of NBA players. And from the account of Maverick Carter, he stated that LeBron James was not, you could not decipher that, hey, there's a high school player on the court with all these pros. And apparently some of the pros were like all-star type players or whatever. And you had LeBron there, and you had people in the crowd asking like, who's that dude? Where does he play? Is he an overseas basketball player or a college or whatever? I'd never seen him before. And people were like, no, the guy's 16 years old, he's in high school. So anyway, the run's over, all the pros leave, the gym clears out, and LeBron James and Maverick Carter are heading for the door, head into the car so they can leave the facility. And they see a red Ferrari pull up, and lo and behold, Michael Jordan steps out. And from their account, it was surreal to see Michael Jordan just step out of a red Ferrari like, hey, where's everybody at? So apparently, even though everybody had already left, I guess Michael Jordan recognized LeBron James as his face was plastered all over stuff already. And he was already a well-known basketball player, both in the basketball world and in the general public as well. They went back into the weight room, and LeBron and Michael Jordan just kind of chopped it up there. Mostly Michael, of course. There's not too much a 16-year-old, boy could say to Michael Jordan at that time. And I just feel like that's a lot of respect. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan was basically, putting them up on game, what to expect in the league, what it means to be a pro. He was just kind of schooling them, giving them a little lesson or whatever at 16 years old when you're at the high school. So I feel like at that point, anybody would expect a relationship from that point on, or like a mentorship or something like that, some kind of friendship to grow from that experience. So I think from that point, LeBron was probably expecting, especially because I'm sure at that point he expected to be a great basketball player, because once you're an elite basketball player, you kind of have that feeling that it's not going to stop, that you're not going to taper off. So I'm assuming he expected to be a great basketball player at that point already. And then the fact that he had Michael Jordan sitting down and chopping it up with him, he kind of expected, hey, I'm going to be great, and Michael Jordan is probably going to be my mentor or something like it. So fast forward a few years later, LeBron James is living up to the hype. He's #1 basketball player in the country easily. He's getting ready to go to the NBA, and he hasn't signed an official shoe contract yet. Adidas is chasing him, Reebok is chasing him, Nike, of course, is in the conversation to try to get him, and Team Jordan puts their hat in the conversation, even though that's still Nike, but they put their hat in the conversation. And while LeBron, in my opinion, may have been seeking mentorship from Michael Jordan, I personally believe Michael Jordan was seeking a business relationship. And hey, if you want to be mentored by me too, that's cool. But first, let's talk about the tangible, right? Let's talk about how you gonna make me money. And he put his name in the hat to try to, sign LeBron to Team Jordan. Well, long story short, there was a event that took place. I believe it was like a photo shoot or something, where LeBron James had the quote that, hey, he wants to be the next Michael Jordan, mainly because of, it was a photo shoot with Team Jordan. And after that, Jordan tried to sign him. So a little bit after that whole situation, the news dropped that Nike actually had won the bidding war for LeBron James's endorsement services. And then shortly after that, once again, the Nike contract was like $100 million or whatever, which was the biggest contract given to somebody out of high school at that point in time. I think it probably still is, because they usually don't pay rookies in general that much. But somebody coming out of high school, it's so much uncertainty. Of course, they wouldn't pay somebody that type of money. So there was a Jordan quote shortly after that, which was talking about, hey, these players these days want everything without having to work for it or without earning it and this and that. And even though it was not, he didn't say it about anybody, a lot of people assumed that that quote was about LeBron James. So that may have, you know, kind of pushed the relationship or the potential relationship kind of on a different road, right? Because if LeBron James wanted a mentorship and Jordan wanted more of a business relationship, obviously the two can't meet unless there's some give on one side. And as we noticed with Michael Jordan, he doesn't seem to be that interested in any of the players that don't serve his business interests at this point. If you look at it, he owns the Charlotte Hornets, and obviously he's interested in his players. Like, you still hear about him doing one-on-ones with not Michael Carter Williams, the guy from Kentucky or whatever. And, you know, the players that had served some kind of business relationship with him. He does work with Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, the people on Team Jordan and his team. But you don't hear a lot of Michael Jordan with, you know, some of the players who aren't affiliated with him in any way. So it looks like at this point he's really worried about people who are connected to him business-wise or whatever. Where I think LeBron James looked at the relationship that he had with Kobe Bryant and was probably pretty envious of the relationship that he had with Kobe Bryant. The type of on-court, off-court mentorship, you know, where they talk and laugh and you know, Michael Jordan kind of noticed Kobe was emulating them, so he would give him tips and Kobe would emulate him, and they just had that type of relationship, and LeBron never really had that with Michael Jordan. And I remember there was specific situations earlier in LeBron's career where it seems like he was, you know, searching for that type of mentorship. Now, obviously Jordan had stopped playing at that point, but it always seemed like he was searching for that kind of mentorship, and he probably never got it. And then at some point he hit a point where he probably stopped caring. Now, that's not to say that they aren't friends or they aren't cordial or whatever the case may be, but there's a well-documented group of advisors that LeBron has. Some legends, Isaiah Thomas is one, Jerry West is one, Magic Johnson is one. Absent from that list, considering that he's his idol, is obviously like Michael Jordan. But that being said, I would not take that to say that Michael Jordan isn't a mentor to LeBron. He may not be a mentor in the conventional sense to LeBron James, but I think he's still a mentor, because if you pay close attention to Michael Jordan's comments about LeBron James, I feel like it's one of two things. On option one, he's trying to motivate him to keep pushing, because even though you're the best, you still got to keep pushing. They got to wake up and work and keep trying to win championships or whatever. Or, you know, it's a situation where he's just trying to put distance. He's just trying to create a narrative to put more distance in between himself and LeBron James as far as the greatest of all time type conversation. I choose to believe the first option, because at this point in LeBron's career, he's 32 years old. He's won 3 championships. He's the #1 playoff scorer of all time. He will hit 30,000 points this year, which is pretty early. I think he might be the youngest player to have reached that point. You know, he has all these, 13-time All-Star, you know, all these All-NBA appearances, all these first-team All-Defense appearances. He's accomplished an unreal amount of stuff in the NBA, and he's a champion. So it's not even like he has 50 million scoring titles or whatever and no championships and no MVPs. The guy has 4 MVPs. He has a good chance to win the 5th MVP this upcoming year. What are you going to use to keep motivating you? All right, most people who actually like really know basketball or whatever consider LeBron easily better than Kobe Bryant, as he is. And you know, it's not a lot to fight for. There's nobody who can touch him in the NBA today. There's a team that can touch him. Golden State can touch him as a collective unit, but there's not a player who could touch him as individual talent in the league today. And that includes Kevin Durant. It's just true. So what are you working for at this point? What's gonna keep you motivated? Well, what will actually keep you motivated is the idea that even with all your accomplishments, people are gonna be able to say that somebody was better than you, right? And the way they're gonna be able to say that they're better than you is just by counting rings. So I personally believe Michael Jordan, by always putting that thing in the middle of them, right? Because there's other players. There's Kareem, there's Wilt, there's Bill Russell, there's other players out there. If you want to say, okay, these people are greater than LeBron, okay, you can create your argument, right? But the fact that he always uses Kobe to kind of put that person in the middle, like, hey, you got 3, I got 6, he got 5. So even though you're a better player than him, he still got 5. So you got to catch him before you can even think about me, right? That's what he's putting out in the air for LeBron. And to me, it's not a mentorship like I'm gonna put my arm around you and help lead you in this direction. It's kind of like I'm up in the tree and I'll swing a rope by you every once in a while, and if you tough enough, you can try to grab it and climb up. So it's just a different type of mentorship. But I think in that way, Michael Jordan is and it's not friendly, it's not nice, but I think in a way, Michael Jordan is still mentoring LeBron in the fact that he's still trying to keep him motivated. He's still trying to put some stuff in his head, try to irritate him to keep him pushing for even more greatness than he's already had. Because if you imagine, a lot of people stop. A lot of people could accomplish a lot. They get satisfied, like, man, look at everything I was able to do. And it's hard to stay motivated. But what Michael Jordan is constantly doing, in my opinion, is putting stuff out there to continue to motivate LeBron, to continue to be as great as he could possibly be. Now, if that final product is greater than Michael Jordan, then I mean, so be it. But I don't think it's necessarily sour grapes like a lot of people think, like, oh, he recognizes LeBron is better and he's just trying to, create a narrative to reduce him or in some kind of way. I don't believe that. I think it's more motivation. So I think in a way it's an indirect mentorship between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. All right, see you next time, everybody out there. Thank you for watching.